welcome back my gardening friends. December 27th, the day after Boxing Day, and I had to do a couple of grits. Got a call Christmas Day to do one early hours of the morning, 1 o'clock on Boxing Day morning. Then we went out again on the night time. Hopefully now the weather's going to settle down, but a lot of rain is forecast, so I'm trying to get a bag of leaves now when I've come up, and then I'm going to try and get a few jobs done while I'm here, so you can join me. And many thanks for all the kind comments on my Christmas Day vegetable harvest and the King's speech. I do appreciate it, and again, thank you for all your kind words and continued support. Bargum, that's a good old round trip, and the old sweat's tiddling out of me on this cool frosty morning. So that's 5 bags in the bin, and they're very wet, very hard to push. I will never ever moan about the leaves being too dry in the future, but damp is good. As you can see, 2019 20 bags, 2020 19, 2021 25. Those 25 bags now are in this bay. It's a full pallet size bin, too high, and this will work out a lot better now using the polycarbonate as the doors, and it's fully lined now, so none of the leaves can escape. So this area is nice and clear now, and we've just got this pile of leaf mold rejects, but as you can see, they're breaking down really well, and basically they're just matted up leaves that didn't go through the trommel very well, but ideal to put in the bottom of the new pallet collar raised beds when we get round to doing it, if it ever dries out properly this winter. I've still got 3 tubs of fish poo. That's the water from the filters from the pond at home, and I don't want to put them on the leaves because they're already far too wet. I can do that later on in the summer, so the rhubarb crowns can have a little bit of fish poo this year. So let's get that little job done, because I've got more fish poo to sort and filters to wash now they've thawed out. Good old smelly vision. You wait till that comes, guys, when you can smell what you see. Just another 2 drums to do. I'll finish these off for now. That's the 3 tubs on. 60 litres of fish poo. We'll see how my rhubarb grows now. And I don't think I spilt any on me, but I bet Mrs K will smell it. So next job, I need to insulate the carrots. During that long cold spell, I could not get the carrots out of the ground, but I could my parsnips. So we need to get this done now before we get our next freeze, if we do. But I need to plan ahead. No good if the veggies are stuck in the ground. It's the best way to store them. So first job is to cut all the tops off and get those put into the compost bin. The robin's happy to see me. Right, let's get tidied up. Now, if you give your carrots space, you can get some really nice crops, and as you can see here, these are the ones I didn't thin out properly. They're good carrots, but those are the ones I'm aiming for. But if we let them get exposed to the rain, they will split, and it does spoil them. We want carrots like that, don't we, guys? Unless they've got lots of legs on them, we shan't know till we harvest them. Right, let's get this tidied up. I don't want any rough growth. These will continue to grow like the parsnips do. They'll try and go to seed, and eventually they won't be fully edible. But there's at least 150 carrots still in there to eat. So we just need to insulate them now and keep them dry. So to insulate them, I'm going to use the found compost that was unscrupulously dumped by the cannabis growers. As you know, I collect as much as I can when I can. And because I'm going to harvest them from this side to the back, because if I've still got carrots when I need to sow some more, I can start sowing them from this side and successionally sow them through. So let's see how we get on. 30-litre containers. Great for stress relief, but I know it's not a brilliant grow. These have all gone. So basically I need to find out where my last lot of carrots are. So here. So we'll just heat them up. Hope you can hear me. And we'll do a mountain. And basically that's all the roots that are actually within this. Just need a little bit more on there, but I'll crack on with this. See how we get on. So that's 220 litres of that cocoa coir, give or take a little bit, because they weren't quite full, including the root balls. Now just to get the cardboard on. Well, that's a good job done. Very late doing it, but that's the way things go when we are very busy. Right, next little job is to weed the onions. Very important that we don't let weeds take over, so been a long time coming, so I'll get this done. Now that didn't take long. Some of them are looking quite sad and they probably won't make it, but there's no point in doing anything else with them other than keeping them reasonably weed free. And then later on, as they start to get their new shoots again, we can start thinking about trimming these up, so all the energy goes into the new growth, not the growth that's rotting off and causing a few issues. But there will be casualties. But considering the weather, we just have to be grateful what survives. Looks like the rain's going to come earlier than expected, so I'm not going to get as much done as I thought. But these are the crimson broad beans. These are the ones that we will be eating early spring, early summer. 3 seeds per station, and as you can see, a lot of them have gone black. Some of them are okay in the middle of the screen there. So I'm glad I didn't chop these off for now, but I've got to decide whether to tie these up, because we should get new growth from down here. So I might just have a little fertile with these, or shall we leave them? I think I'll leave these a little bit longer. See what happens. The plant will know if it's not going to survive, and it'll throw up a new shoot. And it's just started to rain. Some of the shallots are looking a little bit bedraggled as well, but there's new growth there. Best not disturb them. And even that space there, the garlic is growing. It's probably just been planted a wee bit deeper, and the red Russian garlic is started to show in different places. So no doubt the garlic will split this year. We will see. my second place at Malvern. Giant carrot is still growing, hasn't really been affected, no more rat damage. As you can hear now, the rain's coming down, so I'm going to have to make a hasty retreat home after doing a few hours, possibly only 2 hours on the plot. Another little job I can do while it's spitting with rain is to clear up all the ashes, nails and rubbish off this bed here. That's that little job sorted. I'm not keeping any of that. A lot of it was treated timber, etc., full of nails. I'll let the municipal waste green recycle that to get rid of all the metal, etc. I was going to hope to have a fire today to try and dry the ends of those sheets to get that silicone on so I could get the roof on, but that's not going to happen today. So I'll get these bins in place. I've got a decent length of timber there to stretch across those two. The holes are cut in there. They're all the same height, hopefully, and if we lean them this way, any water that does come in there will disappear, and then I'll be able to store my garden canes and the old raspberry canes, and obviously what we get from the raspberry canes this year, the autumn ones anyway. So I'll bring you back, put you under cover, I'll get cracking. Well, that's worked out just nice. I've left some gaps in the timber so the air can circulate, and I've put some spacers in, and I'm trying these canes on this side. It was easier to put a little cross member in there just to hold the stakes. Don't know where they're going to be exactly until we've got the roof on, because we can adjust it accordingly. It's just brightening up a little bit, so I'm going to empty these 2 bags of leaves, move these 2 blue containers, and get these 4 containers sorted out here, nice and level, and mark up where the spouting is going to go into the first barrel. So I wasn't entirely sure how that was going to go, but we've now got a rough mark where that will just drop into there, and everything else is ready for the siphoning pipes. See how we get on today. And I always pop a little screw into the joints. I need one in the middle there, but I might leave that one, depending how tight it is, because I will need to get it off occasionally if we need to get into this barrel. But this barrel should never really be opened up. It'll be these here that we'll be scooping water out of in the future to pop on the leaf mould or to use around the allotment. And if I do get any more barrels, I'm going to stack 2 here, one on top of each other, similar to on plot 3, and create a drip feed as suggested by one of my viewers, just so I can keep just turn it on just gently so it drip feeds, not just washes away. We'll see how we go, because once the roof's on, I need to control the amount of water in the leaves so that we don't have the issues we did this year with it being really wet and not able to go through the trommel. And as they always say, one job leads to another. This is going to be the wick guttering system for these containers. We've already got slits in the bottom of all these. All I need to do now, oh, I haven't got them in that one, so I'm not going to be able to do it. I need to take this tank home first, but I can get these two done. So while I've got the mess of the blue plastic, I'll mark these up. So that's those two marked up. I can take those home, get all those three cut out, and that'll be a little bit of progress. You can see what happens to these blue tops if you cut too many holes in them. They do tend to warp a little bit, but a good heavy brick does help that. This water hasn't seen the light of day for about 3 years, so it's not in bad. It hasn't gone green, it's just gone a bit dark, but it probably would do with bits of compost and soil falling in. And these barrels are only blue coated, but at least they all look the same. When I come down the plot, first thing, I uncoiled that hose pipe because it was tightly coiled, and I think I'm going to leave it another day or so before I cut it to size and put the wire coils over them to stop them kinking. But there's nothing to stop me from making the wire coils today. So hopefully after a few days it won't coil up into a little coil when I come to pop it in the bins. I've had issues before, so I've learnt my lesson. Just let it lie flat and hopefully it'll remember that, and it'll hang over the barrels nicely. So there's the other three done. I only need 3 coils for 4 barrels. And yeah, that's that sorted. I'm going to fetch another bag of leaves now before it starts to rain, and I'll leave you to whatever you're up to today. Please remember, thumbs up, thumbs down for the interaction. Consider subscribing and always leave a comment. Don't forget, the comments are the most important place for learning. Not by me. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.